Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast. This is DJ and I'll be your host for this week. I'm joined by Varun from Singapore. Varun, welcome to the show, but we've already got a complaint in from last week, so we're going to have to address that up front.
I know. I believe the complaint is that we talked about Dhoni and we said we'll talk more about him during that epic CSK versus MI game, but then we didn't actually end up talking about him. And I don't know, DJ, I just feel like we've been talking so much about him for the last 3 weeks that that's all every episode is. So I'm really surprised that Ashwin and I missed that. But hey, it was a game that Chennai won by 20 runs and MS Dhoni scored 20 of 4 balls. And it's been over a week since that game, and yet we still managed to find ourselves talking about that.
Yeah, the 20 of 4, the strike rate of 500. Of course, Ashwin was the host, so we've had to kick him, and I've replaced him on the show as the host for this week. No, just kidding. Ashwin's on the move. So
yeah, we also said that when the three of us get together next, we are going to announce our own World Cup teams. But I am a bit concerned that that may not happen, because the latest I've heard is that Ajit Agarkar is going to announce it on 27th or 28th April. So that might be hard, but since I have it written, I am happy to share mine at the end of this episode.
Is it?
And you can agree and disagree.
I can agree and disagree, but welcome to the show, guys. We're going to run through what's gone on in the last week, the best of social media, the best of cricket. We'll try and do the highlights because it's a little bit boring if you go through ball by ball, because you guys have already probably watched the game, so there's no point doing that. We'll talk about the big moments of the week. We'll talk about that Kohli no ball. We'll talk about Dinesh Karthik wanting to get on that plane to the US. We'll talk about Pakistan is playing a series against New Zealand. We will not be talking about that because that's a fourth or fifth string New Zealand side, which is still beating Pakistan, which is pretty amusing. But Varun, you've been a Sunrisers Hyderabad fan for a long time. Let's talk about the Monday game, right? Sunrisers Hyderabad versus RCB at the Chinnaswamy. What happened there? 287 for 3 plays, 262 for 7.
Man,
talk me through that.
It's just so amazing that RCB gets the highest score in the IPL against them and has the lowest score in the IPL for them. It's just very, very sad, man. I don't know what to say. It's 287 for 3. I mean, Travis Head, 102 of 41.
Who's Travis Head, Varun?
I don't know. This
Seems
new
quite
kid.
good, this guy. Seems
yeah,
pretty good.
He loves these blue teams. That's what the rounds on social media are doing. That every time a team in blue comes in front of him, he kind of is like a raging bull. But yeah, man, 102 of 41. You almost miss Abhishek Sharma in all these games.
So, I mean, this show is not about the cricket. It's more about what went on outside the cricket. Did you see Travis Head's celebration at the Chinnaswamy?
Yeah, what was that? It was the Gale celebration.
That's the Chris Gale celebration.
But was that on purpose for Gale because it was at his ground or something like?
It has to be, right? What a power move, dude! He hung his helmet on his bat.
Just this unassuming guy who just comes out and, like, with Gale, you kind of look at Gale and expect that that's what's going to happen. With Travis Head, I saw a meme yesterday that said he looks like the Teen Guna Lagan guy, right? Like, he looks like he could have starred in Lagan.
Yeah, it was pretty good. That little celebration, but Travis Head gets 102. Klassen, Varun.
I mean,
number one T20 batter in the world.
I think so. I mean, he can bat at 7, he can bat at 5, he can bat at 3. I think teams are just happy he's not opening right now, because this was carnage, man. Like, do you realize what hitting 287 means? It means that, like, the days of touching 300 in a 20 over game are not that far off. And DJ, do you remember how much Australia scored in the ODI? How much India scored in the ODI final? Like 260-ish?
240 something.
240 something. What I'm saying is, in 50 overs, teams are not able to manage that. And in 20 overs, these guys are close, touching 300. And I think Travis had said, I want to see a 3 in front of the score. So he's just got this single-minded approach, and I think he can deliver. And what better place to play than the Chinnaswamy, man? Like, I know we're not going to run through everything, but The only thing I have to call out is that while they did a fantastic job, I mean, RCB got within 20 runs of that, right? They lost by 25. So there
What
is
is
something
going
about that.
on? What
There
is
is
going
something about
on?
that ground. It's almost funny when you think about it, right? At 287, you should be winning by 100 runs. At 287, you should not be panicking that we're just about winning by 25. And look, Kohli and Faf started off well. They do their best. Maximum they can go at is 200. But Dinesh Karthik, man, we have to talk about him and that flight. Dinesh Karthik hit 83 of 35 balls with some monstrous hits, like I think out of the ground type of sixes. What's going on? Like from the time we started discussing Dinesh Karthik as a joke going to the World Cup to today, it's people have gotten a lot more serious about it. Dinesh Karthik has said, I am ready for that flight. What is going on? Do you think there is any chance that he's actually going to make it?
So, to be totally honest with you, I thought he had retired from cricket and had become a full-time commentator because before this IPL, he said it's going to be my last IPL. And I thought that meant he'd retired from T20 cricket altogether because seriously, after the 22 World Cup and his performance in that tournament, I just thought this is the end of the road for him. But he comes out, plays these blazing knocks. It was absolutely unbelievable, that 83 that he got. Yeah, but I mean, the big story, Varun, is the public apology number 3 that you're going to have to issue to the Sunrisers fans, right? Like, they have now broken the record for the highest score batting first 3 times
In the
in the
same
same
tournament.
season. So 263 was the RCB score. They've now broken that 3 times in less than half a season. What is going on there? What has changed? What has shifted?
I mean, they're just going all out. I don't even think it's about like we'll pick the balls to hit. It's just I know there's a game later against Delhi, and I think they were 105 or 125, if I'm not mistaken. 125 in the power play at the end of 6 overs in that game. And we'll talk about that. I mean, since we're talking Sunrisers, let's just talk about it now. It is ridiculous kind of batting. Once again, Travis Head scored there, but Abhishek Sharma,
That old guy, yeah,
I mean,
rearing his ugly head again.
Travis Head went at 278. Abhishek Sharma went at 383. Like, what are we talking about? There was just like, and I said
And
this in that
383 only
game.
because he got out on the 13th ball.
Yeah, and again, I know we're jumping around a little bit, but I said this right when SRH is playing like this, like Pant should not have got them to bat first because in 2.3 overs, I remember texting you guys and saying the match is finished. 2.3 overs, the match was done,
Yeah,
and
unbelievable.
you've just killed yourself out of it. Anyway,
No,
I
we'll
th-
come to the punt match, the second match. I mean, of course, we got pretty basically slaughtered in that game, 125 in 6 overs. But Varun, the next game as well on the Tuesday game, Kolkata Knight Riders versus Rajasthan Royals at Eden Gardens. Again, KKR put together 2-2-3, and Rajasthan Royals chase that down for a record breaking chase. What is happening? 220 plus totals now being chased at the Eden Gardens. Sunil Narayan scored 100. I mean, are we in like the twilight zone, man? He scored 109 in 56 balls, but it was undone for the second time in the season by Josh Butler 100. Josh Butler had undone a Kohli 100 the last time to win the game for Rajasthan Royals. Is Josh the boss back?
I mean, the best thing about Joss, the boss, is that he brings himself back. I think that is what everyone needs to learn. Like, you can see that when Joss Butler starts some of these tournaments, he doesn't look like he's in the best groove. He doesn't have that momentum. His shots are not free flowing. But he's also realized that I'm good enough to just play out 7, 8, 9 overs and I'll get that back. I mean, his acceleration in this innings, they were down and out, man. I think this Crick Win or WinZ or whatever this predictor thing is called is
Win Wiz.
WinWiz or something. I think it must have been like 5-10%. And as this Butler innings progressed, I think it just went off the charts. He just did a phenomenal job. And talking about celebrations at the end, he kind of just threw his bat. Did you see the common factor though in some of these wins, these epic last ball wins? is that Avesh Khan is always on the other end and scoring
The
zero.
finisher throwing his helmet.
And he's like walking through the crowd like the Rajasthan Royals dressing room like this. He's hit 0 of 1 in that LSG game, and he's hit 0 of 0 here or something.
Yeah,
But
ultimate.
but
Ultimate.
I mean, for me, the thing is, it's very interesting because this innings, right? It made me realize that in T20, I think there's two types of games you play. One is where everyone goes at 200 strike rate and it makes 30 odd. The second is you have got one guy like Joss Butler who's made the 100, but without Rian Parag and Rovman Powell, it wouldn't have been possible. So I need to call them out, man. Parag hit 34 of 14 balls through the middle overs, which allowed Josh to have zero pressure and continue to just take singles and doubles during that time. I thought that was game changing. And
Yeah,
we're seeing
and
it
that's a good call out actually, because like in the final analysis it looks good, but in the middle of the innings, Josh Butler was like part of the Tuk Tuk Academy, which is a great
exactly.
handle on Twitter. If you guys follow them, give them a follow. It's pretty funny. But yeah, that Rajasthan Royals won by 2 wickets. Apparently, statistically, the best knock of the 2024 IPL, according to Cricinfo's, I don't know, impact index
Player,
or
yeah,
whatever it's
impact
called.
index,
I
yeah.
don't know. Whatever. Next game. Gujarat Titans versus DC. 89 all out. Plays 92 for 4. Tell me more about this match. What
Yeah,
the hell happened?
totally unexpected. But man, I have to call it out saying this was the game that dropped Nokia. And usually Nokia gives 89 runs in his 4 overs. So without him, the team managed to get like them 89 all out. I thought it was a great performance. Now, the thing about GT is, your David Miller and Tewatia, guys who I think are dangerous. Somehow in the first innings, I think they're not as dangerous. And so I think
Mm.
we just kind of capitalized on that. There was, apart from Rashid Khan, who had 31 of 24, there was nothing to write home about. But the Indian bowlers for DC really stood up, man. Whether it was Khalil's economy rate, whether Ishan picked up 2, Mukesh 3. I mean, a testament to the Delhi bowlers that Kuldeep Yadav didn't pick up a wicket and still they got them 89 all out. So I think that was the highlight for me. But bigger thing is Delhi came out just swinging
Swinging.
at it, right? And this guy, Jake Fraser McGurk, he looks the part. He looks like he's a T20 batsman. And everyone just went at this 200 strike rate, got it done in 8.5 overs. And I think the net run rate really jumped after that KKR
Mm.
loss. So,
Mm.
while Delhi is not in the mix of things, I think it's helping it's helping Delhi put themselves in a respectable position. Because I think if they come seventh also,
We are the top of the loser
worst.
franchises. 8,
Yeah,
9,
but
10, which is
you,
RCB, Punjab, and Delhi. But we are
yeah, but
8.
the funny thing is, it's always these three, man. It's like we should have a discussion with Ashwin later sometime. Just why is it always these three? The
Yeah.
players come and go. There's something deep rooted.
Yeah, it's pretty poor. Okay. Mumbai Indians versus Punjab Kings. Now, Mumbai Indians won this game by 9 runs, but Jasprit Bumrah, 3 out of. I don't know why I'm doing the weird accents today. It's pretty
I
funny.
think Danny has come back, by the way, in the
That
middle
must
of.
be it. That
It
must
has
be
to
it.
be it because in the start of the IPL he
Danny
wasn't there.
J.
It's Danny J, Jazzy B.
Jazzy
It
B.
has to be. It has to be the Danny Morrison factor.
Yeah, so Surya back in form. I think it was his second game. Got 78 in this game. Harshal, Purple, Junkal, whatever you want to call him, picked up 3. I think he's
Yeah,
top of the one of the
I think
top wicket takers
he's
this
tied
season,
with
by the way.
he's tied with Bumrah right now at 13 wickets.
It's hilarious. But yeah, Punjab Kings started to 183, chasing 192 for 7. Shashank Singh again tried his best to get them across the line. Ashutosh Sharma, his partner in crime, I guess, also got 61 of 28, but they
So
fell just short, right? And it was pretty exciting towards the end. Like
it
the
was,
last, it
dude.
could have gone.
These two guys, man, Ashutosh and Shashank, they're just. It's not a fluke anymore. It's just not. These guys are good, and they're making a case to bad up the order. Really, I think I said this last time also, but it
But
is not a fluke anymore.
Tell me more about Sam Curran, man. He's like decided to open the batting
I think it's trying too
because he's
hard, right?
captain.
The Manoj Prabhakar route, right? Open the batting, open the bowling.
Right.
Um,
Actually, Manoj Prabhakar is going to be Nokia by the end of it because he's going to be bowling off spin at the Kotla. So that's the
Dude,
end of that Nokia love story for DC, I feel.
seriously. But I don't know. I just get the feeling Sam Curran is trying too hard. Like, you can't be doing everything all the time, right? Something it doesn't add up. You've got Riley Rosso there.
Mm,
Just it's not adding up. The Sam Curran move is not making any sense to me.
mm. Okay. Yeah, so Mumbai Indians got another win under their belt. Pretty good. Not much more to talk about that game, I guess. Um, Chennai versus LSG. Chennai, this was in Lucknow at Dekana. Uh, Tell me about KL Rahul, man. He gets 82 of 53 balls. The Chennai innings kind of went nowhere. Jadeja got 57 of 40.
But
Moeen got 30 of 20. Oh, sorry. We can't. I mean, there was one man that struck at 311 in this game as well.
it's getting old now. That's what I'm saying. It's just getting old, and
No, but his strike rate fell now from the last one. It fell from
if I
500 to 311.11.
it was a huge drop. I mean,
What a
almost a
massive
forty
drop.
percent drop. It's just very disappointing. But I mean, he was again just smoking it. But you're right. There's nothing happened, and I think Rachin Ravindra is having a disastrous tournament. Like, he showed promise in the first game. Second game was decent, but after that, he's just had a string of zeros, ones, fives, tens, and I think that is causing a lot of the issue because if you remember historically, CSK has always had the openers do well, and I think that to me that's the tough area.
Yeah.
So 176 with Dhoni behind the stumps, not bad, but clearly this was not a 170 pitch.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, maybe we should take a quick break before we come back and talk about the rest of the games of the week. Mumbai Indians currently struggling at 76 for 4 and 10.3 overs. So don't go anywhere. This is the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast. We will be back after this break. Okay, welcome back from that break, and you're still listening to the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast. I hope you've taken that break to write us a review, give us a rating, give us a like, give us a subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube because it helps grow the show. Varun, we've talked about the Chennai Super Kings versus Lucknow Super Giants game. Then came the Saturday game, and now there's only one game on Saturday these days. So, I mean, in usual circumstances, I would have kind of looked forward to this game quite a lot. This is the one we were talking about, where it was 125 in 6 overs when Delhi won the toss and decided to field at what was basically a postage stamp of a ground at the Kotla. I mean, frankly, ridiculous size boundaries. And
And it was
uh,
a road, okay? It looked like a
yeah,
road, the pitch. And that's what I'm saying. It was such a terrible decision. Like, you and again, I know I say this on the show a lot, but at that point, I messaged some friends saying this was a wrong decision. If Delhi batted first and if Kuldeep picks up two quick wickets, you're going to put the pressure. Because if you get 220, the pressure is going to be on SRH.
mm,
And lo and behold, after that power play,
mm,
Kuldeep picks up two. Akshar chokes them with the runs. And I think
mm,
between 7 and 10, they really couldn't get going, right?
mm,
And such a tactically incorrect decision. It's not one person who takes these calls, but you should know what the SRH team is doing and you should have taken your decision accordingly. Because like I said, Travis Head went ballistic, but Abhishek Sharma was the story for me in that game. 383. I don't think he missed a single ball. Like, I think literally he played 12 balls and he got out on one. So out of 9 balls, he hit 11 balls, he hit 8 boundaries, 6 sixes, and 2 fours. It
unbelievable.
was just ridiculous. I mean, Markram looks like an outlier in this team. Like, he should really be hiding his face because he just bats at a cool, calm, collected 130, 140, and it's really poor. But DJ, the thing is, Shabazz Ahmad, yeah, the guy has batted and batted and batted for RCB, but this game, I think his innings made a difference because when you look at how Delhi progressed in the innings, which we'll talk about, you'll see that the 59 of 29 by Shabaz was a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, but the game, as you said, was lost in the first 6 overs, right? You can't concede
Agreed.
125 runs in 6 overs and expect to win. And of course, it was an ex-Delhi player that did it to us because remember, Travis Head used to be a Delhi guy and an RCB guy actually back in the day. So, plus, do you know who used to play for Delhi, Varun? Abhishek Sharma.
Yes, I
So we
remember that.
continue our role as an
Every
exporter of
every
talent,
everyone has played for Delhi.
and everyone has done well after they've left Delhi. But anyway. Uh, so the story in the Delhi innings, chasing what was not a record score, thankfully. So Delhi has twice avoided giving away a record score, but it must be the first time that someone has conceded more than 250 in season twice. Ridiculous, frankly. I mean, their bowling has been atrocious, other than Kuldeep, who was actually, as you say, good to see him come back from like getting a bit of tap in his first over. He went for 20. And they picked up those 4 wickets, which put a little bit of breaks because I think the projected score at one point on this game, Varun, was 417.
Yeah, I thought this was a 350 for sure. I mean, projected
That's
aside,
sick.
I thought this was a 350 for
That's
sure.
sick. But the story here is Jake Fraser McGurk, right? Small ground, just kept swinging. So I'm not sure he's going to be that good on a turning track because he swings pretty hard, kind of hard hands. But he was effective there. For a brief, slightly surreal 30-minute period, it felt like Delhi might be on track to chase it. But I had a few issues with the way the batting order unfolded. I mean, why are you sending Abhishek Porel at 4 when you have Rishabh Pant? Yes, you want left, right, send Pant out. Don't send Porel out. And then, I mean, Pant coming into bat at 6, he played a poor innings in the context, very
Very poor.
struggled to get the ball off the square. So did Tristan Stubbs, which is weird because those two guys have been doing well. What Lalit Yadav is doing in this IPL, I have no idea. Akshat Patel, he's lost form completely. Andrik Nokia is going to, I'm sure, not be retained for the next time round because it's just not working. He was fine in the Middle East. I mean, Kuldeep fine, Mukesh fine, but like this is a team that's in complete transition, and without David Warner firing at the top of that order, it's not going to be great. In fact, they may even go and retain someone like Jake because
They
that would make
should.
sense to me.
Because the game is changing, right? So, two comments on what you said. The first, the game is changing. I think you can afford to have a Jake Fraser McGurk in your team and tell him your role is only to play 6 overs because the damage you can cause in those 6 overs is enough. In fact, you're right. Maybe he can't play the turning tracks, the spinning bowlers, and maybe he doesn't have to. All you need to do is play the first 6. So I'm in favor of bringing in specialists like this, and I think he should be retained. But yes, I think Pant, like I saw him, it was atrocious. He was playing and missing, couldn't connect bat to ball. That's not the Pant we saw at the start of the tournament. That is, however, the Pant we have seen in T20s previously. And I think it comes down to, again, I don't think he knows where to bat. I don't think Pant is the finisher role. I think Pant needs to come earlier. So you're spot on. I would have played him at 4 as well.
Well, SRH won by 67 runs yet again, nailing Varun's coffin. Another nail in your coffin. And they went to, I think, number 2 or 3 in the table. Pretty decent outcome. Then came the first game on Sunday, which I found incredible. I mean,
I
again,
think it's the best game so far.
Eden Gardens again. Kolkata Knight Riders versus RCB. Now, we were expecting Narayan to tee off, right? And they clearly came up with a plan. RCB in their green, no pun on Cameron, but wearing their green jersey. Um, uh, Bowled really well to Narayan, so he didn't get off to a flyer like he usually does. But I mean, Phil Salt or Salt Philman, as he used to like to call him when he used to play for which franchise, Varun?
Delhi Capitals.
Until when? Last year?
Oof. Pathetic.
48 or 14. At one point, he looked like he was going to break the record for the fastest 50 in the IPL
But
ever. Just took Lockie Ferguson apart. 28 runs in and over, man.
but this is what I was saying. You're going at 340. This is not new anymore. Just this IPL, we've seen it happen 7, 8 times. There is a role for people like this.
Unbelievable. And you know what? The other interesting thing was the kick didn't come from Andre Russell, who played 20 balls. Usually, when Andre Russell plays 20 balls, he's on 60. He got 27, not out. Ramandeep, Ramandeep Singh gets 24 of 9. I don't know what's wrong with me
Why
today,
did you
man.
just channel your inner Danny?
I have no idea what's going on. But
Yeah.
Ramandeep gets 24 of 9. And a good thing he got those 24 of 9. It took the the KKR to 2-2-2 for 6. Nothing to write home about for the bowlers in RCB. I mean, Siraj went for 40, Yash Dayal went for 56, Loki went for 47, which is not a bad comeback after going for
After,
28
but
of the first over.
I feel like, you know what happened is, like, they prepared for the syllabus of Narayan and Russell, and they did very well, and then they didn't prepare for all these other guys. So it was like job done in the theory room, but after that it was just everyone else, they couldn't figure it out.
But amazing. So, but then 2-2-1, right? You saw Phil Jack, he's not Jack, he's Jax. Phil Jack,
Jacks.
Will Jacks, Phil Salt and Will Jacks. He got 55. Faf du Plessis' wretched season continued, 7 of 7. Kohli. You should talk about Kohli.
I mean, he was
Code of
looking
conduct,
good.
fine.
Yeah, he got fined, so he was looking good. And then Harshit Rana comes in, and there is no way I'm going to believe that ball was on purpose. I feel like he was bowled this beamer, except it was a slower ball.
And
It
Kohli
hits.
was out of his crease. He
Kohli
was
was
coming out
So the thing
to
is,
hit.
Kohli was a little bit out of his crease, and where he took the ball was ahead of him as well. And so where he played the ball, it was above his waist, and the ball kind of just slower ball beamer popped back, and
Dipping.
Harshit Rana caught it. Now it was dipping, but where it hit him, it was above his waist. Where the trajectory showed, it said that if he was at the crease, it would have been below his waist. And Kohli, it was also fun to see Kohli that angry, right? The Kohli from 2011 to 2016. But
50% fine.
yeah,
Match
50%
fees.
fined. He was angry. He couldn't believe it. The rule is debatable, but as per the game, he was out. It's just that, yeah, this Harshit Rana guy, like, it just irritates me, man.
Yeah,
Like,
he gets under your skin, but that's good. Maybe it's good
but
for India.
I think Gambhir just knows how to train these guys who can get under
No,
his
but
skin.
Gambhir and Kohli, there was some clipping about them talking about the dismissal in the World Cup final and like a lot of love. And Gambhir's PR has gone major over time, boss, on the
Yeah, and
Kohli love. And he's getting all the eyeballs because the camera's always on Kohli. And so, but I think so. The reason why it was not a no ball is all these guys have been measured before the tournament, and there's now technology which says that if you're standing at your crease, this and the ball is come at this height, that's the end. Like it's
I
not
didn't
subjective
realize.
anymore. It's not
I
being
didn't
subjective.
realize
There's
they're
a
all
measurement to your waist, what the height
interesting.
is to your waist. So every batter has had this measured for them. So it's a purely objective um, determination. Interestingly, you could see Kohli later in the game, after the game was over, talking to the umpires, and he was like, "I'm crouched down. What have you measured it against? Am I crouching down? Am I standing totally straight up? What is going on?" So, but 50% fine. Also, Varun, what is with all these marquee players having fights in the IPL? We've seen with umpiring. We've seen Dhoni come onto the field. We've seen Rishabh Pant call his players off the field almost. We've now seen Kohli have a massive go at the umpires. Is this acceptable behavior?
I
Because
mean,
the whole country
I
is watching this. It's like whatever Sunday evening entertainment, right?
yeah, I don't think it's acceptable, but it's interesting. I think in all these cases you mentioned, these guys have lost, so it is clearly the 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 losing side of thing.
Interestingly, CSK won the game that Dhoni
Uh,
came out onto the field with
but
because
did
Jadeja
Dhoni?
smacked Stokes, right? Don't you remember?
Yeah. Where he fell to the ground
He
and
fell to
Stokes
the
fell to the
ground.
ground.
Yeah, that's right.
But did Dhoni's walking on the field help the decision?
No, it didn't change the decision, but
Umpire decision, final decision. That's what we've
very
been
good.
taught in school.
One tip, one hand rule. No, but this was, I mean, not to distract from the innings, but this was a weird innings. You got Jackson, Rappa got 55. No, Jax got 55, Rapa got 52. Then there was like not much at the end other than what is he, 5-time champion Karan Sharma?
I don't know. I definitely know
He's
it's
won the
three, but
IPL so many times. He's definitely won 3-4 times. I don't know.
yeah.
With
He's won
CSK,
three for three different
MI,
teams.
yeah, unbelievable. But he walks out, strolls out, and I had him in my fantasy team. I was like, no way he's going to do anything.
Are you
He
serious?
goes 20 of 7, gets out to a screamer of a catch from Mitch Stark, who I don't know what his like average is for how many
Mitch Stark
dollars he
has
gets paid
been
for each wicket
horrendous.
or runs. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he saves it, and then there's like this last moment horrible throw from the outfield from who was the fielder that threw it in, man? Was it Rinku? Rinku threw it,
Uh,
right?
Let me check. Ramandeep Singh.
Oh, Ramandeep Singh, not Rinku Singh. Throws it in, and then Phil Salt dives like Josh Butler, breaks the stumps, and the game's over. And it's not a super over, and RCB have lost by 1 run yet again.
It's and have now been officially eliminated from the IPL.
Just over halfway past the league stage, which is insane.
Very sad, man. Very
You
sad.
do
It's
feel for
just
them. I mean, it's not like Delhi is going to do any better, so you should feel for us also. But
yeah, we do. But I think I don't know. RCB just it's a tough one, man. They're not good enough yet. They deserve to win this game. Like Karan Sharma deserved to win this. He hit a world class Australian bowler for 3 sixes when everything was against him, and they still lost the game. I think in this case, I think DK just one or two blows away. He just didn't get going, man. It was tough to see him in the sense that he didn't play badly, but you knew that if two blows from DK and this game would have been over. So kudos to them for getting so close. I think KKR fans were really, really panicking in that last over. But it made for a great game of cricket, but it's just very sad for
yeah.
RCB. And I think,
Particularly after the women won the trophy, right? Again,
yeah,
you saw the celebrations then, so yeah, it's kind
I
of
really think RCB just needs to let everyone go, and I mean everyone. So I'm saying that very
so.
clearly.
So you're
Just
basically saying Rohit and Kohli will both be in Delhi next year.
yeah, or both be in CSK with Dhoni in the dugout. Like, how cool
Lovely,
is that?
lovely. That's never gonna happen, but that's okay. Um, Tell me about the Rinku Kohli bat situation. Have you been
Dude,
seeing those videos?
that was great. That was too good. So Rinku basically goes up to him and says, Bhaiya, mera bat toot gaya. And Kohli's like, bat toot gaya? What do you mean bat toot gaya? He's like, Bhaiya, wo spinner pe bat toot gaya. Like, Kohli's just taking the piss out of him. And then he's like, एक नया bat दे दो, मैं क्यों दूं? It's too good. And he's saying it all with a straight face. That was a great video. Because
It's actually too
Kohli's like,
funny.
a spinner broke the bat that I gave you. Like, what are you doing?
From the bottom of the bat. वो
And
नीचे से
Rinku,
टूट गया.
I mean, it was too good. That
Oh,
video was
I
just
really
great.
like Rinku, man. He's too sweet, bichara. Uh, and then there's a Punjab King versus Guju Titans game. This was a bit of a boring game. 142 all out
It
Punjab
should it
Titans.
should have been more
Punjab
boring than
Kings.
it was. Yeah, it should have been more boring than it was. Like you ended up
But it
meeting
was
up
over, man. They had some wickets in the middle, but then twice.
again. This guy just 3 to 4 times every season just wins them a game chasing.
Yeah.
It's something
36 of
else.
18. So yeah, it was a pretty clinical finish from him actually. Like Shah Rukh Khan got out in the end, Rashid Khan got out at the end, Junkal picked up some junk wickets and got me some fantasy points, so that was good. Yeah, not really much to write home about, dude, that game to be honest. But that's everything, right? We've managed to canter through all the games of the past week now um in the 34 minutes that we've just spoken. And just as an update, the Mumbai Indians are now 120 for 4 after 14 overs, so good recovery from them. That's pretty well done, actually. Varun, so tell us a little bit about how fantasy is going for you.
Oh man, I have to log in, so give us a minute for that. But DJ, why don't I tell you my T20 World Cup squad and you tell me where
Yeah?
you agree and disagree?
Are you starting with
So,
Rohit and Kohli? At which point I already start to
Wait,
disagree with you.
I'll give you the 15 and then I'll tell you where
Is
I
this the
would put
squad
it.
you would like to have, or is this squad that's going to be picked? Is the other question.
Uh, I think this is the squad that is going to be picked.
Okay.
So I go with Rohit Jaiswal, Gill Kohli. So that's four. I go with Sky, Dubey, Rinku. I'm going to go with Pant, Pandya, Jadeja, Bumrah, Kuldeep, Chahal, Arshdeep, and Siraj. So I went a little fast, but tell me if
Yeah,
you
you need to slow down. So
vehemently
no KL.
no care. So I've got basically, I'll tell you what, I've got Gill and Jaiswal both in. I've got Dubey and Rinku both in. Okay. And the only person I'm unsure in my squad is Siraj. I don't necessarily think that he deserves a spot based on the bowling. And again, not that, I mean, we love Siraj. It's just, he just looks tired. He just looks very, very tired.
So I don't think you're wrong in that this is a likely squad, right? The problem with the Indian T20 selection has been for the last, and I think the impact player has actually not helped the situation at all. I think it's made things worse for Indian cricket in the T20 sphere because now you have the likes of Dubey, and yes, he bowled in the last game. They come in, they bat, and then they sit out. They don't bowl, they don't
Yeah.
field. And that's not the rule in international cricket. So you need multi-dimensional cricketers. And now the IPL is actually grooming people that are more singular in their skill set. You're incentivized now to specialize more in batting or bowling because then you can just be impact subbed. So I agree
I
there's no Akshar also, so that's fine. Um, no Ashwin from the T20 World Cup last time. And is Pant your sole keeper? What about Samson?
Yeah, so I think the issue with this team is just that I don't have two keepers. That I
Yeah, I
think
don't I
that
don't think
is,
that's gonna happen actually. And I think if
yeah,
they take Pant, they will have to pick KL. And
yeah.
KL
So
KL above Gill, to be honest.
yeah, so then you pick the utility. And Gill has not
But
done anything wrong, but
but if you say that I'm going to pick a second keeper, that has to be. I think Sanju Samson has had a good IPL this year. To be honest, he's
yeah, I
captained
agree.
well. He's done well. I don't know what his stats are, but he's looked up for it. And honestly, like, when are you going to give a chance? Stop playing the same cricket over and over again and expecting a different result, man. The whole Kohli, Rahul, Rohit thing, it's not worked. Let them
Yeah,
play ODI cricket and Test cricket. And I was speaking to a friend of mine about this yesterday. I was like, I get it, right? Like in Australia, it's different. But you've done it for 16, 17 years now, and you've not won.
yeah,
You're not doing it right anymore. You need a reset of thinking. Why not go left field, pick an Ashutosh Singh or pick a Abhishek Sharma or something like that, right? You want a guy
yeah,
in form. I mean, he's smacking the world's best bowlers around Abhishek Sharma. Yashasvi is actually not in form at the moment. I
yeah.
think he's mentally tired, to be honest, the poor guy, because he scored 700 runs against England in the Test series and went straight into the IPL, and now he's going to go straight in the T20 World Cup. So he's at risk of mental fatigue.
Yeah, but I think for me it comes down to, this is a very what if conversation. That's why at the start I said this is the team I think is realistic.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure, nobody can get all 15. I think I'm definitely off by two or maybe three. But this
Mm,
is what I believe will give us the best shot of success. And when I say that, I mean that by playing a Dubey and a Rinku, you're changing your game a little bit.
mm,
I think you could actually have Pandya and Jaddu be your fourth and fifth bowlers with Dubey as the sixth bowler for 1 or 2 overs.
yeah.
So what I'm saying is that could be changing the game. I fully agree. Ashutosh, Shashank, these type of guys need to come in, but it's too soon, man. We've seen a lot of guys do well for 5 matches in a season and not do anything. Like a Venki Iyer, not done
Yeah, but
anything.
Tewatia has been doing this for 3, 4
Yeah.
seasons now. So
So
why
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
he get a look in? Like, Why are you going on just backing those specialists? I think you can afford maybe two or three specialists maximum in a team. Bumrah walks in as just a pure bowler. If your captain is Rohit, he has to be there. But then everybody else has to have more than one skill set. That's my view. I don't know. Like
Yeah,
Jadeja, Pandya,
but
yes, they walk in.
but yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like Tewatia doesn't, right? He doesn't have more than one skill set. So
Yeah,
it
but also do you need a Kohli? Do you need a Gill when you can have an Iyer? Where's Iyer? He's the best spin hitter of those guys. Rahul plays
who
spin better than those guys as well. Gill's
who
been
are you
getting
saying?
out to spin.
Shreyas Iyer?
Yeah, Shreyas Iyer.
Don't know, man. He's played pathetic.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's
but if
more
you
of the
think about the
same.
pitches, Caribbean pitches, small grounds, English, American pitches, probably going to spin, right? He's the best spin hitter of the lot.
Maybe. But
पता
I
नहीं यार.
definitely
See,
don't think
I'm
he's.
just a bit jaded with this whole like same ODI team. एक दो लोग बदल के T20 team बना लो types. It's not going to work. We're not going to win. It's really
Yeah,
down.
but I think the difference is it's only Rohit and Kohli. Everyone else is kind of new. You can't argue with Sky, Dubey, Rinku,
Yeah,
Jaddu, and Pandya. So it
yeah.
is new. We're trying not to, I feel. But it's the keeper slot. And anyway, we could be discussing this
So
for the
I,
next
I think
hour.
for me
So,
the keeper should be Samson in this round. I don't think Pant is fit enough yet. I don't think we can trust him enough. And he was never
yeah,
a T20 certainty to start with,
yeah.
right? So, yeah. I mean, let's see now when it comes out. I think it's still early. Like they'll delay it as much as they can. When do we
I
have
mean,
to
it's,
submit it
it's,
by?
it's either in the next 4 5 days or in the next 8 to
Sure.
9 days. So it's
See,
not that
you've
far.
given me the realistic team, and I don't disagree with you. This is more than likely it'll be along these lines. I'm just frustrated with the thinking, and I have been for a really long time. So that's come out of
Yeah,
this one.
got it. Okay.
Anyway,
Lastly,
Tanzania,
fantasy
Tanzania.
update. Uncle Sam, SRK is number one. Well done. Lester, Anthony Rai, bits, pieces, Kapil Sharma. Those are your top three. I am at number 13.
That's not bad.
DJ is not too far off at number 19. And I think
Despite missing a game
Ashwin
and not changing, getting 0 points.
and Ashwin is way too, like, I have to scroll way too much. I think it's 38th or something.
Oof.
It's just been a terrible season for him. So yeah, that's it, DJ. That's a wrap on this week's episode.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for joining me. And maybe next week we'll be back with the actual team, which is more than likely going to be 95% of the players that Varun just named. So
But let us know.
your big omissions are no Iyer, no KL, and
I
no
mean, Iyer
Samson.
is not even in this. Yeah, so I think Samson is my miss. Basically, between Samson, Pant, and KL, I think I need to be picking two out of those three. I've only picked one
And
right
no
now.
Ashwin.
No
He's not
Ashwin.
even in the conversation.
Yeah, and I don't think Siraj should play. I think they should just fly him in for that Sri Lanka game whenever it happens, and that's good enough.
Yeah, but who is the backup seamer? Mayank Yadav. That would be a call and a half, man. Like, why take Mayank if he's fit?
Yeah, but he's not fit. He's not even fit to play the IPL
How do
right
we
now.
know that? Maybe that's a sazish by BCCI, just like keeping him under wraps. Ciao. Okay, nice one, bhai. Okay, that's the show, guys. That's Edges and Sledges. One tip, one hand. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Drop us a line there. Give us a rating. Give us a review. And we will be back next week with more chat about IPL 2024. See you then.